The thyroid gland is one of the body's key hormonal producers. It releases and regulates thyroid hormones that affect many various bodily functions, including metabolism, mood, energy levels, body temperature, blood pressure, and heart rate. If you suffer from thyroid disease, it's because your thyroid produces too much or too little of these hormones. There are different types of thyroid disease, such as hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, thyroiditis, and Hashimoto's thyroiditis. All of these can be caused by things such as genetics or an iodine deficiency. The most common thyroid problem is hypothyroidism, or an underactive thyroid. This thyroid disorder causes great fatigue, depression, forgetfulness, and weight gain. It can also make you more susceptible to diabetes, heart disease, and several types of cancer. The American Thyroid Association estimates that up to 60% of the almost 20 million Americans who have thyroid issues are unaware of it. What you eat can affect your thyroid gland and your body's ability to use thyroid hormone. In this video, we will learn which foods to avoid, but before we move on, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned to grab your free gift. Now it's time to uncover the 5 worst foods for thyroid problems. Number 5. Soy. There's long been concern over the potential detrimental effects that soy can have on your thyroid gland. A person's risk of hypothyroidism may rise, according to some researchers, if they consume too much soy. Isoflavones, which are found in soy products like tofu, edamame, and soybeans, function as goitrogens in your body and prevent the thyroid gland from producing thyroid hormones. Isoflavones in soy can be problematic for people with Hashimoto's and an underactive thyroid. They have the ability to inhibit the thyroid peroxidase (TPO) enzyme, which the thyroid needs to create T3 and T4 hormones. If you still want some soy in your diet, go for fermented soy foods to minimize the concentration of goitrogenic compounds in your diet. Go for fermented soy foods like miso, tempeh, and natto. But before you add fermented soy to your menu, first check with your doctor if you already suffer from thyroid disease. If your thyroid is in good shape, consume only small amounts of these fermented soy foods. Your regular menu should also include plenty of iodine-rich foods such as eggs, seaweed, and seafood. In this manner, you can enjoy the K2-loaded health benefits of fermented soy with no downside from the thyroid-suppressing isoflavones. Number 4. Cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables such as cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli are super good for you as they are full of fiber and other nutrients. However, when it comes to your thyroid, too much of a good thing can be harmful. These vegetables contain goitrogens, which can exacerbate hypothyroidism and result in enlargement of your thyroid gland. If you have an iodine shortage, cruciferous veggies may interfere with the generation of thyroid hormones. Therefore, if you do, it's a good idea to limit your intake of these foods, as studies indicate that doing so may prevent the thyroid from utilizing iodine, which is necessary for healthy thyroid function. But for cruciferous veggies to have a real impact on your iodine uptake, you would need to eat a lot of them. There are several things you may do to make these vegetables less dangerous if you have been diagnosed with iodine deficiency and hypothyroidism. The last thing we want to do is tell people to not eat vegetables. If you eat these vegetables raw and in large quantities, it could affect your thyroid if you have a precondition. So, if you have hypothyroidism, you don't need to give up cruciferous vegetables. Just by steaming or cooking them, the goitrogenic properties that interfere with the production of thyroid hormones are greatly reduced. Another helpful tip is don't consume more than 5 ounces of cooked cruciferous vegetables daily. Before we continue this video, are you excited for a free gift? Discover real, actionable advice based on solid scientific research that you can start implementing to boost your energy levels with our new ebook, 25 Energy Boosting Superfoods for Women. Simply click the link in the description below to download your free gift. Alright, now back to the video. Number 3. Gluten. Gluten is a protein found in products made from wheat, barley, rye, and other grains. People who have hypothyroidism may want to think about reducing their intake of gluten. It can be hard to avoid though, as gluten is abundant throughout much of the Western diet. For most people, eating gluten is generally not a concern, but for those who have celiac disease, it can impair nutritional absorption and cause intestinal inflammation. Unfortunately, celiac disease is more likely to impact those who have hypothyroidism brought on by an autoimmune condition like Hashimoto's disease. That means some people must avoid gluten entirely to maintain thyroid function. You may still want to consult a doctor about whether it would be worthwhile to avoid gluten or have a test for celiac disease, even if there is no evidence that a gluten-free diet will treat thyroid issues. According to a July 2019 experimental and clinical endocrinology and diabetes study, women with thyroid dysfunction may benefit clinically from avoiding gluten. Choose whole grain bread and pasta if you do decide to consume some gluten, as they are high in fiber and other nutrients that can help produce stool irregularity, a frequent symptom of hypothyroidism. Also, to avoid high fiber foods interfering with your synthetic thyroid hormone absorption, take your hypothyroidism medicine many hours before or after eating. Number 2. Fried foods. Well, who doesn't love fried food? Unfortunately, what tastes good on your tongue is bad for your thyroid. If you have hypothyroidism, you would be given medicine to replace thyroid hormones. But if you eat fried or fatty foods, your body won't be able to fully absorb the meds you're taking. It's been discovered that fats interfere with the body's ability to absorb thyroid hormone replacement therapy. Additionally, fats may prevent the thyroid from producing hormones. High-fat fried foods like French fries, donuts, and fried chicken can contribute to inflammation in the body. An underactive thyroid gland is frequently caused by inflammation from Hashimoto's disease, also known as chronic lymphocytic thyroiditis. The majority of people who experience hypothyroidism are middle-aged women, though it can affect anyone. Fried foods or processed food products are usually rich in trans fats. The worst kind of fat to consume is trans fat. Trans fats, commonly known as trans fatty acids, differ from conventional dietary fats, as they lower good cholesterol and raise bad cholesterol. A diet laden with trans fats increases the risk of heart disease, the leading killer of adults. Patients that consume thyroid medicine must make it a point to avoid fried foods and processed foods. Number 1. Processed foods. If you're a regular consumer of processed foods like chips, hot dogs, crackers, and cookies, your sodium intake will be on the higher side. It's recommended that those with hypothyroidism should avoid excess sodium. Having an underactive thyroid increases a person's risk for high blood pressure, and too much sodium further increases this risk. According to the American Heart Association, people with an increased risk of high blood pressure should restrict their sodium intake to 1,500 milligrams a day. Another ingredient to look out for in processed foods is high fructose corn syrup, which most processed foods contain. The body processes it much differently than sugar, as it can cause hormonal imbalances, more so in people with hypothyroidism. Not only does the high sodium content in processed foods pose an increased risk of hypertension and heart disease, but consuming more than the daily recommended 1,500 milligrams of sodium can also lead to excess weight gain and other health problems. Moreover, processed sugary foods also worsen hypothyroidism by causing uncontrolled insulin spikes. So next time you go grocery shopping, make sure to read the nutrition facts label on the packaging of foods to find options low in sodium and other harmful ingredients. Well, now you know 5 bad foods for thyroid health. Before you go, please let us know if you know any other foods to include in this list. If we didn't cover them in this video, please leave a comment with recommendations below. Remember to like this video, consider subscribing and hit the alert bell to stay up to date with us. Plus, don't forget to download your free gift, 25 energy boosting superfoods for women, by clicking the link in the description below. We hope you have a healthy and joyful day.